adventure, maybe even a roller coaster. She's just up for the adventure. And I think as I've gotten to know Kelly over this past year, past almost couple years, is that she really takes life and just really goes with it. And if it's learning from, setbacks she had as a child to growing up and just becoming the person she is right now, she's like one of the strongest people that I know. And without further ado, let's welcome Kelly.
Thank you.
I know, it's a shake.
A very kind introduction. Thank you. Do I need to give my time? Because we didn't talk about the time or.
Yeah.
So, I timed it a few times, between 17 and 19 minutes.
Between
17
to 19 minutes? Okay.
Okay. So, have you ever looked at something with your own eyes and still just couldn't believe it? Ever felt that fracture, that split between what you know to be true and what you desperately wish wasn't? It's that place where reality and disbelief collide, and you're left straddling two worlds. One that was, and one that now is. That was me at 1:13 p.m. Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. The moment I saw the photos of my home and Pilates studio, the place that held my dreams, my work, my healing, reduced to a pile of smoldering ash. 14 years of building, growing, thriving even. My knees buckled, my hands had to grab the counter to make sure that I didn't collapse into a puddle on the floor. My body understood the loss before my mind did. My heart started racing, my breath grew really raspy and fast, my chest started heaving with grief, and my mind still kept grasping for some little strand of the life I knew. But there it was, the photo staring back at me. The image was seared into my mind, etched onto the backs of my eyelids. I couldn't unsee it. So I knew it was my home. It was unmistakable because there's a tree in the front yard that looks like a man about to flex his biceps. So I had to accept that, yep, it's my home. The weeks following the Eaton wildfire are a blur. In those dark, disorienting hours, I was hijacked by fear and grief, and vagus nerve toning became my anchor. Nervous system nurturing practices helped me calm the chaos, get grounded again, and even actually begin to start rebuilding from the inside out. Things are not at all copacetic yet, but we're coming along. And when life sets your world ablaze, willpower alone will not carry you through. You need practical tools that will help you calm the storm inside, help you get grounded, help you to lead, decide, and act from a place of power instead of from a place of panic. And so that's why I'm here tonight, to equip you with those tools, to help you learn how to calm the chaos, get grounded, reclaim your power, your focus, your strength when life knocks you over, kind of pulls the rug out from under you. Because in our high stakes world of constant pressure, a regulated nervous system isn't a luxury. It's really your superpower.
Yeah.
It's your secret weapon to sustainable leadership and peak performance. So I'm gonna mosey on here. If you need to turn your chairs around, I'm doing slides even. Woohoo! I had intended to be a techie person, but we're gonna try it. Uh-oh. I might need your help on something.
I think the power went off.
Maybe. Did you have to hold it?
No,
No, that is on.
It's on.
Oh, okay.
it just went to sleep.
Okay. I'm being impatient.
It should come on.
Intermission.
Yep.
Okay. So, just so you can see, that was where I lived for 14 and a half years. Raised my son from 7 to 21. And that was it after 1:13 p.m. on the 8th. So, there will be some participation in a moment, but I think it will be helpful for you to have just a little bit of background. Our vagus nerve, as you can see, it's this yellow. I don't have a camera, is it picture? I don't see it. So, this, oh, thank you. Where?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Scott. So, our vagus nerve is this yellow line that runs from the base of our brain and then branches off. It actually is in two branches in front of the bones of our neck vertebrae, and behind our vocal cords. Comes out about to our sternum and then branches off to all the major organ systems. And it's kind of like the brakes on our car. When our brain detects a threat, it tends to put us into our sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight response. I call it revved up. The scientists call it dysregulated or upregulated. And so some of these practices I share with you, either in the moment, can actually start to slow down that response in your body, even stop it. Also, it's kind of like meditation or any practice, in that the more you do it, why the more nourished and resilient your nervous system is, so you will be less likely to get triggered, and when you feel that response, you will more efficiently and effectively recover from it. And so, yeah, I don't need to read that to you, you can read. It's a unique nerve because the other nerves don't do nearly as much reporting from the body to the brain. The other ones take the messages from the brain to the body saying, do this, do that. So it also helps to understand just a little bit about our fascia. Underneath our skin, like a second skin, is a web-like material made of collagen, and it weaves through our muscles and bones, helps support our organs, and it just keeps everything in place and working smoothly. And it needs hydration, just like we need hydration, just like plants need hydration. So our goal with the movements that I'm going to share with you is to purposely move in ways that help to keep the fascia and the vagus nerve healthy by giving that hydration, like I said, but like watering a plant. And the key part of this is key to improving the health and resilience of our nervous system, because it makes it easier for us to stay calm. You know how sometimes if somebody says something that just really gets you, you can have a knee-jerk reaction to it. This kind of helps you give yourself some space to respond, and it helps you bounce back faster. Also, good vagal tone is associated with reduced inflammation, better mental health, improved digestion, and enhanced immune function, whereas low vagal tone is associated with depression, anxiety, cardiovascular disease, and gut issues. So I don't know about you, but to me that's enough of an argument to have a healthy nervous system. So I'm gonna have you check in with the scale being 1 the least amount of stress, not resistance, but the least amount of stress, anxiety, fidgetiness that you have right now, nervousness, to 10 being the most. If you feel safe doing so, why don't you go ahead and close your eyes and just kind of check in with your body and sort out what number would best represent where you are now. 1 being the most relaxed and calm and chill you can be, maybe even about to fall asleep, to 10 being there is a tiger at your back chasing you now. Right? And that's what I was waking up at 3 in the morning with. Right? So pick a number that best represents where you are now, and you can put up fingers, or you can say, call a handful of people, call it out loud. Okay, 8, 3, nice, Scott, you're already chill. This may or may not do a whole lot for you.
You can wake up.
7, yeah.
Mine is
There are
3.
some that way. Yours is 3, so you're also really calm. Good. So first I'm gonna ask you to rub your hands together, create a little bit of heat. This is the audience participation part. And then heels of your hands go at the bottoms of your eye sockets. Fingers wrap over your forehead so your fingertips are pretty much at your hairline. Big sniff in through your nose. And as you blow out through your mouth, let your head fall heavy in your hands and your spine start to round forward. Only as far as feels comfortable, okay, copacetic for you. So your elbows might wind up resting on your ribs, your belly, the table in front of you, all the way down in your thighs or knees. No right or wrong. And so we're having our head bow to our heart, and our brains can't ignore a question. So I invite you to ask yourself, what can I lay down right now? What doubts, worries, concerns, fears, decision that you're needing to make, what can I let pour out the top of my head and puddle on the table here or on the floor, even if just for the next few minutes? And on your next inhale, imagine your spine is a tube that you're inflating. So as you sniff through your nose, you're gently setting one backbone on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next, until you feel your head securely supported by your neck. Yeah, so you're unrolling till you're up tall, tall spine, as if your top of your head's gonna touch the ceiling. And gently pulling your hands away, and you've got kind of this curved shape still. So go ahead and reach under your clothing if you can, over your shoulders, squeeze the flesh and drag forward to your collarbones. And it's squeezing and dragging forward, so giving yourself a little massage. This might wind up turning off again. So at the end, the last slide, I have some QR codes. One has the opportunity to get the PDF that talks you through these various exercises. One would take you to a video. So this is called the neck and shoulder massage. Now we're going to take our fingers and coming from the vertebra of our neck and pulling out to the side. And your head might start to turn toward the hand that's massaging. It might turn away from the hand that's massaging. There isn't a right or wrong. It's more about just how your body unwinds tension. Yeah. Good. And now the SCM massage, sternocleidomastoid, big word, so that's why we just say SCM. It's this big ropey muscle, so the best way to find it, or the easiest way to find it, is look over your shoulder and lower your chin, and then take 2 or 3 fingers under your earlobe and drag down the SCM. And turning your head the other way, 2 or 3 fingers drag down the SCM. And turning your head the other way. So massaging, so head, neck, shoulder massage, SCM massage. Once more each way. And then brightening up the communication between our facial nerves and our vagus nerve. We have a lot of nerves in our face, so we're going to take 2 fingers and circling at the hinge of our jaw. You can let your jaw fall slack, or you can have your mouth closed. Just try not to clench. And then making little pincers with your hands, squeezing at your chin, your jaw, walking down to your chin. And then your thumbs kind of massage underneath your tongue, you know, like a cat is kneading a cushion before it lies down on the couch. Good. And then a couple of fingers at the bottom openings for your eyes. Gentle pressure or circling. So this is the face massage. And then thumbs at the bridge of your nose, a little bit of pressure, circling. As you walk out to the corners of your eyes. And then wipe off your eyebrows. And the pads of your fingers do a little tapping on your face. Tapping on your head. Raindrops keep falling on your head. Good, so mouth washing. We're going to take some air into our mouth and we're going to shush it up behind our top lip, down below our bottom lip, and into our cheeks. You have to be okay with looking and sounding funny. I don't usually do it in front of anybody, so. Good, and then gentle tugs on our earlobes down. And then at the side, at the edges, pulling back. And then at the top, pulling up. And then retrace your steps, pulling up, pulling back, tugging down on your elbows. Good, so I warned you there's going to be some sounding because the vagus nerve goes behind our vocal cords. So the next thing I'm going to show you once and then walk you through it. Your choices are closed mouth, hum, open mouth, ha, or hoarse lips. Right? And you can do one time, one another time. Here's the part that's kind of like this. We're going to look over one shoulder. The hand that's attached to the arm we're looking over goes to the opposite side. So our face and our fingers are going to be like two ships that pass in the night. Sniff in there. And then as you blow out, hum or ha, as you turn your head to where your hand came from and your hand goes where you were just looking. And then drop that hand, but keep looking over the same shoulder. Don't move your head. Switch hands, so the other hand is on the opposite side. You're always looking away from your hand. Sniff in. And then pull across your throat. Or ha, or horse lips. Leave your head there. Switch hands. So your hand's on the opposite side of where you're looking. Sniff in. And ha, or hum as you pull across. And switch hands. Inhale there. And exhale, ha or hum or horse lips as you pull across. Only two more. Sniff in. And as you pull across. It's okay to laugh. Switch hands. Sniff in. And as you pull across. Good. And then a little bit of tapping on your collarbone. Thank you, Rika. And then reach one arm up, kind of like you're holding that strap on a subway. Thank you. Head falling away. And then wherever your eyes go, take your fingers to look where your eyes went. So you're trying to get as much movement in your spine as you can. Side bending, twisting, rotating. To prep you for resonant frequency breathing, only I may not have enough time for that. A little bit more with that side. And then come back up to center and take that arm down and just check in. Notice, do you feel any difference? The side where you're, what do you feel?
Relaxed.
Okay, that side for me feels longer than the other side. And last thing, 'cause we're running out of time. Twisting. Good. And then go ahead, if you will, close your eyes, put a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. Stir up some feelings of gratitude for your body, that it carries you through your day. I'm grateful that my body carries me through all the adventures that Joy mentioned I like doing. And if you will, do that check-in again. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the most relaxed, to 10 being the most agitated, anxious, nervous. what number would you say now best represents where you are?
-2.
So, yeah, somebody, okay, so you went away from a 7, from a 9 to a 5, an 8 to a 5. So that was a 30% reduction in stress level. So thank you for playing along. If you're interested in this other materials, I can give you the QR code before we leave if you want anything else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very much. That was lovely. It's nice to get to see. First of all, I wanted to thank you for being so courageous. I know for these many months, I kind of have to get curious. I want to ask you how you're doing, but it's such an eggshell topic. I don't want to stress you out, but thank you for being courageous. And I know that's part of the healing process. I can't even fathom, but you know that we love you. We're so glad you're back in the club and doing something that's fruitful, because, I mean, come on, guys. She won the speech contest from last year. We got weekends. So thank you for that very heartfelt speech and education as well. To let us know the kind of stuff that you're an expert at. With that being said, we have our second speaker, and for those that are newer, I didn't explain that this part of the Toastmasters meeting is our longer prepared speeches, which are quite educational. People are on different tracks. Some people are storytelling. Some people are on a pathways. I know Owen has multiple pathways because he is, very well educated. So he has ones for presentations as well. So today we have Owen speaking, and what I know about Owen and the time that I've known him is he's kind of like an owl. He's a very wise guy. He likes to really think about things, and probably thinks about things that we don't even think about in this day and age, where he's studying like Hebrew and Latin and Greek and different classical things that you're like, what? Because he really loves to read the Bible, and so he likes to read the Bible not just in English, but he likes to read it in Greek and Latin and Hebrew, and it helps him to understand it better in the non-translated version of what is being said in the Bible. So there's kind of a theme, God and Jesus, and probably Owen wants to be invited to that dinner too, because he's got questions. But anyway, without further ado, my friend that I get to live off the legacy off of, he was the past president of this club, and so I have big shoes to fill. But Owen Asula.
Very kind words. This speech is not going to be as elevated as Kelly. I have big shoes to fill, and I can't fill it. I need some socks to kind of fit in. Okay, so my speech is going to be, I don't say mundane, but it's going to be a little bit more kind of topic-based. But it's called Hate Speech is Free Speech. So recently, I had a discussion with a friend about the topic of whether or not we should limit hate speech. My friend was on the side of saying that we should limit hate speech because it hurts people in terms of people coming together, trying to take away rights from other people, harming other people, and it's bad for our society and for our governmental system. I was on the side of saying that hate speech is mere opinion and it should be allowed because people have a right to state their opinion, but not a right to use their opinion to injure other people with it. And we were at an impasse, and we agreed to disagree. But I like to give my view of what I mean. I will not give his view since he's not here. I don't think it's fair to enumerate his views. So I have 5 points of why I believe that hate speech is free speech. For one, let me define what hate speech means. Hate speech is abusive or threatening speech or writing that expresses prejudice on the basis of ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or other similar characteristics. My definition holds that hate speech is just a mere opinion that someone might hold. Although it's prejudicial It's just something that people can express to say, this group is this way, this group is that way. And although it's very disagreeable and hard to hear, we have to recognize that people have the right to express his opinion, and government does not have a right to infringe upon that right for people to do so. Now, the first point I would hold to why hate speech should be considered free speech is because freedom of speech is a human right. Freedom of speech is enumerated in our Constitution as the First Amendment, and government is instituted to protect human rights. It is built to ensure that we have laws in place that human beings' rights cannot be violated or taken away from them. And since freedom of speech is the cornerstone of our democratic republic, we must understand that this is the ultimate form of freedom that all individuals hold. And since I hold that hate speech is free speech, I hold that government does not have a right to infringe upon hate speech. And therefore, I believe that hate speech should be limitless. That's the first point. The second point is I hold that censorship or curtailing hate speech is itself undemocratic. And the reason I hold to this is because hate speech, unfortunate as it is a part of our right to petition the government. We as citizens have a right to tell our government what is right and what is wrong through peaceful protests, through writing letters, but also through sounding disagreeable language to government officials. If we curtail this language, then we're curtailing citizens' ability to petition their government to where they can move legislation in a certain direction to their favor. And if you curtail that ability, you're curtailing our democratic process as a whole. So we must understand that curtailing hate speech actually is in and of itself undemocratic. Third is that censorship of hate speech inexorably leads to an undemocratic state. Now, the reason I hold to this is when a person or a government system has the ability to curtail hate speech, there will come a time in history, or there come a time in the future where systems fail. We see this time and time again throughout history. When there comes a time where the institutions don't work properly, government officials aren't able to solve problems, people take matters into their own hands and turn to leaders that are very forceful and very aggressive. These leaders, as much as they like to say that they're altruistic and they're trying to use their power to help the people, often use the power for themselves. And they have to use any wiggle room to expand their power. And if you can control dissent of people saying anything negative about you, you can control the people. And this law of having hate speech can be expanded by a leader saying, well, hate speech means abusive language. But if language is abusive to me, then I regard it as hate speech. And on and on and on, you can expand it to the point where hate speech can mean anything. Hate speech in general is language that the leader just doesn't like. And with that, you have an authoritarian regime. Therefore, I believe that censorship of hate speech inexorably leads to an undemocratic regime. Fourth is that hate speech, as much as we don't like it, can actually alert the government to instances or ideas that are needed in order to govern properly. We all know as citizens in any country, I don't care where you live, government officials are not good at understanding the problem. They do not listen to the people. They do not try to consult with the people on how to view things. They see things in their perspective. So oftentimes, people get very angry and turn matters into their own hands and start using words very forcefully and at times very violently to get their point across. If you curtail hate speech, you curtail government's ability to assess the situation properly because they do not have the whole picture of why things are the way they are. Hate speech should alert government to the seriousness of the issue, the seriousness of a solution needed to actually ameliorate the issue. But if hate speech is curtailed, the issue will not be solved, and it would actually lead to the downfall of the democratic system in general. So therefore, hate speech is, instead of it being an insult, instead of it actually injuring democracy, it actually helps democracy. And then fifth is that there are better tools we can use other than curtailing hate speech. And these better tools are speech that is used to try to injure other people. not to sound an opinion against government or against any entity in society. If you're using speech to say, let's threaten this group and let's go to their house and beat them up, that should be banned. If you're using speech to harass people, to commit fraud, to spread obscenity, to do anything that is illegal according to our laws, it should be banned, because you are violating the law and you are violating people's human rights. These tools are necessary to protect our democratic republic and to protect marginalized groups who are otherwise targeted by hate groups to try to use as scapegoats for their own problems that they can't solve. Therefore, I believe that we have better tools in our disposal than curtailing hate speech. Ultimately, as much as we don't like to hear people saying things that are very disagreeable, very rude, very disrespectful, it is something we have to bear. Hate speech is a necessary evil for our republic. It is something that we must have to bear in order for our society, our governmental system to be vibrant and to be strong. Therefore, curtailing hate speech is curtailing our democratic republic. Thank you.
Very well said. Wow, 2 powerful speeches today. What do you guys think? I take a deep breath. There's some pretty added topics there. Okay. And now we're going to be moving on to evaluation. So before we do that, may I ask for the timers report? Did both speeches qualify within their time limits?
Kelly was 19 minutes and one second.
Okay.
So it's zero.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Owen was 7 minutes 40 seconds. It's green.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so if you could go ahead and take a moment to vote, please. And you can hand your votes to Annette when you're done. And then we're going to proceed to our general evaluation in just a second. Okay, moving along, I'm going to introduce you to Sam Kuo, who will be a new member of our team. I think he enjoys our club very much. He actually volunteered for a big role this evening, and that role is general evaluator. So I know, Sam, you didn't walk in right at 7, but we did start right at 7, just to let you know. So if you could please come up here. I haven't gotten to know Sam just yet, but what I do know on a personal level is that I'm very impressed with his ability to think on his feet. His table topics last week was very thought-provoking. So I look forward to more speeches from him and just all the ways that he's going to grow and become a leader. I can see him becoming president of this club.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. That was a very copacetic introduction. Thank you. So as the general evaluator, it is my role to support the whole club or the whole meeting as part of the evaluation assessment of how we did or we improved as a speaker. At Toastmaster, it is critical to evaluate ourselves so that the speaker themselves can get better. But as the general evaluator, I will also not only lead the evaluator, I will also evaluate the evaluators. I know that our time is running short, so without further ado, let me introduce the first evaluator, Kathy, who will evaluate Kelly. Kathy?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, Toastmaster members, honorable guests. Wow, Kelly, I was crying. I was sleeping. I was relaxing. It was good. Emotionally, you got us. Your body language took over the whole entire stage. The way you use your hand, your body, You got me in every way, and I know the disaster you went through. Many of my family members went through it. They lost their home, they lost their business, and we're still dealing with it now, with the insurance, with SBA, with all these government, and they still don't have a permit. So I hope you got the permit.
No, not yet.
The heart, your body was beautiful, emotion, the nervous system, the facial. The only thing is the Vegas. I thought I should go to Vegas to relax. The Vegas system was, I thought I got the Vegas, but so I have to learn a new word instead of Vegas.
Yep, swap the A for a U.
Clarity, you were awesome. Vocal, you were high and low. You got us in different way. Eye contact, you were everywhere. You were like seeing everybody, every person, even me in the back. I'm in the couch. I'm relaxing, doing massages and stretching. Audience awareness of everything. They were participating every exercise, even include people sitting down and people sitting up, or you were stretching. I was stretching. You got us involved, and I think it'll be a great way for me to get your PDF and use it every day. Because we go through a lot of stress, so it's important. I was hoping to get a massage therapist here, but I was doing it myself. I said, I wish somebody touching my body. Excellent. Interest, everybody was interested. The only thing is, I don't know what to do. Other, we like to see more speeches, awesome speeches like this, and teach us, all of us. You taught us to be from here to there, come back, exercise, using your heart, your mind, your breathing. Wonderful. Thank you for a wonderful speech.
Thank you.
With that, I will give it back to our general evaluator.
Great. Thank you,
Thank
Taffy.
you.
Excellent. Now our next evaluator is Scott. Scott's gonna evaluate Owen. Let's give it up to Scott.
Master Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. I'm Scott, and I get to evaluate Owen. Hate speech is free speech. So, Owen, I found your speech challenging, courageous. You took on controversy, and you did it quite well. So you made 5 points as to why hate speech is free speech. One is that it's a mere opinion. You know, it's some human being's opinion. That it's a human right to have free speech, for us to be able to express our voice, what's going on inside of us. And that censorship is can lead to undermining democracy, so that if we're not allowed to speak up and express dissent or anger and whatnot, then it can lead to an abuse of power, to where you know, somebody just kind of takes over with power. And the last point, you know, that there's better tools. We have our laws to protect. So I'm glad you brought that back around. That helped me. So I didn't feel copacetic with the speech. It was challenging. It stirred me up. I really appreciated your courage to lead us into that topic. I thought you did a great job. I just wrote down things to work on as balance. I try to be balanced, but hey, you know, who am I to? I thought you did a great job. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Scott. So let me check with Sergeant of Arms. Is it my role to generate, evaluate the whole meeting? Let me ask for the timer's report and for a vote. Timer, please give us your report.
Yeah, for the taffy, evaluate Kelly is 2 minutes 28 seconds is green. And then Scott evaluating Owen was 1 minute 57 seconds green.
Great, great. So we all qualify, right?
Yeah.
So let's vote. No?
So I'll count up and Mary does he
Oh, so at the same time,
Yeah.
timer, can you give us the timers, the timer report? No. Eye counter, can you give us your report? Yes.
Sure, I'm on now. So, hi, Joy. I'm very into all your conversation today, and I know you did so much today. I try to catch as many and from your speeches, but not too many. So you have 3 4 1 so. And Rika, I have not heard any and from you, so perfect. And Eric, I heard 3 and that was it. And Ellie, I didn't really hear anything today. And Joanne, as a guest speaker, pretty impressive. You only have 3 and 1 Yeah, and Carlos, I only heard 1 so. You didn't have any and ums. Yeah. And Annette, I only heard 1 so and 1 And Kelly, with that long speech, quite impressive. You have 8 so, maybe because you try to find connection words, sentence from one to the next sentence. So maybe next time you can pause. So that's the reason why you have so. And I also heard another one repeat and so. Like you say one thing and so twice.
Yep, that's right.
And 2 but with that, duration of time in the speech is pretty quite impressive. And Billy, you have 2 1 so.
Good job.
And Owen, I didn't really hear any and ums, but just 1 so. And Sam, so far, I guess I can't really say it yet. We have not finished the evaluation, but I only heard 1 and 1 so. And Taffy, I didn't hear anything. And Scott, you have 4 4 1 2 so, and repeat of you know. And that's it for tonight's calendar report.
Great, thank you, Jenny. Next up is grammarian.
Okay, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, I didn't hear any grammatical errors. I didn't notice any from our 2 speakers tonight. It was, Kelly used copacetic a couple of times, maybe 3 times. Very good, and I did hear others using that word, so I think that's well done. Good job by everyone. And Owen was very articulate, as usual. He used a couple of words that I haven't heard in a while myself. One was exorable, and then the other word was it was another word that was pretty impressive. Good job, and so that's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Point of order, is it right now?
Voter.
Go ahead.
Right here, I have.
Voter, yes.
So for the table topics, I have, let me see. Do I say who got how many? All of them?
Or you just give me, I think
Or just give you the who
Give it
won?
to you.
You give it to the front and the Toastmaster will lead the
Oh,
ribbons.
just give it to you?
Yeah, just give
Okay.
it to me. Yes.
Okay, so it's
Just
here.
make sure the vote counter you're ready. Okay. There is
No.
3 of them, right? There's best
Yes.
table topic, speaker, and evaluator.
Yes, okay.
So let's go to the evaluator.
Give it to White.
Oh,
Not everybody's voted for the evaluator, we're gonna get more ballots, but, yeah.
And in terms of timing, I will keep going while we write it out. I know our meeting is a little bit longer today. We had a great induction ceremony that went very well. And let me just go through a few comments. As general evaluator, to improve ourselves, to evaluate ourselves, to get ourselves to the next level, just like the induction said, all of us can work towards reaching, improving, and getting better at what we do. I thought the meeting or the induction ceremony was done very well. I think, for example, what could improve, just being self-critical, was, for example, we could all have the hand out, because I think the content of it was very well written. I've seen some meeting where the induction ceremony has the guests sitting outside, and that's fine, just for us to be even more prepared to read it together and have that power if we wanted to, for example. I thought that was a part where we could improve, missed the ball a little bit. But otherwise, I thought it was very well prepared, especially with all of the mentors being present, standing up and showing up that, yes, I will mentor you as a member. So this shows a very powerful group club. Part of why I want to join as well. Table topics, very well led. I thought everyone gave copacetic speeches. Very well done. I just want to highlight a few points for all of the speakers, because I thought they were repeating. I saw a lot of claps, hands. And I think we can work on putting the hands on the side or on the podium, which is not as good. I do this a lot, but on the side. But the least preferred is this clasp. So if you see it, and the phrase I've heard many times is skin on skin is a sin. So avoid that. If you have skin on skin, only when it's on purpose. Even this one, I think Kelly had it, or one of the speakers had it. Try to avoid it, only make it on purpose. The other points on table topics that everyone, I think, can also watch out for is to greet the audience, fellow Toastmasters and guests, right? So that announces your speech because you're doing a small speech. Next up, I will just go on to the evaluators. I thought, Taffy, you were a great speaker, entertaining, you carried the audience, you knew what you were talking about, you had confidence, and you summarized very well Kelly. So you did a great speech. I'll cut to the point, we have short time. I thought the one point you can improve on is you didn't have enough criticism on the speaker. That's hard, it's really hard. And for example, I'll give you a few points. I thought Kelly gave a wonderful speech, but she could also, for example, the one downside of her speech was the function. When she was preparing and presenting, the TV wasn't ready, or her ability to work with the computer wasn't there yet. So those are little points, because everything else was so well done, right? I'm being nitpicky here. I thought Kelly's speech could have improved, for example, with a handout, because the material was so good. The handout is something I want to take with me. She has it, so pass it on. But just two examples. About presenting her speech, I thought one thing you also could improve on is you didn't add any personal story. It was all repeat of what you saw. Just you say you related with your family, but you could expand on it a little bit too. And your pauses, you make people laugh, which is great, and then enjoy it, enjoy the laugh. So otherwise, your evaluation was really good, really good. I'm just picking just to show that you could also think of other things. But otherwise, I would say 5 times out of 5, you win an evaluation speech with this, because you related, you had eye contact, you had a good presence. Next up, and I'll be fast, is Scott. Very, very good professional evaluation. You recreated Owen very well. You spoke eloquently. You really took good notes. You recreated him. You spoke honestly, which was touching. You said it was hard to evaluate something that was so touching. So I really connected and I appreciate it. You even said, I don't feel copacetic with some of the points. So you added the words of the day. That was very good. I think where you could end, and I'm just picking on one, was when you're done, don't be shy. Own the space, shake the hand, and then back. Because you own this, you're supposed to be here. And those are little unconscious little parts that may make you win the project, may make you win the deal, because the client felt like you owned it, you weren't afraid. You're here, they want to hear you, just wait until someone else comes here, shakes your hand, is out. Last but not least, I think overall we have a wonderful, wonderful energy here. It's packed. Have you noticed this? Not every club is like this. And we had great guests. Joanne spoke very well. You know, table topics, good job. So this is really an asset that we all have, that we can keep coming and keep contributing. I think that overall, it's my honor, it's my privilege, like the induction said, to be here and to collect and to improve and to have the chance to challenge each other to get better. With that, I return the podium to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna reiterate, thank you very much. I'll just reiterate what Sam said. You know, own the space. Own the space, and you're supposed to be here. So when you have the time and it's your time, take it and then shake the hand like you mean it. So I really like that. I'm gonna kind of put that seed in my brain. That was really nice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do the awards. And then please hang with me because I need about 5 minutes. Either I'm going to volunteer or get volunteers or voluntold for our next meeting, which is actually next Monday. So we're going back to our regular scheduled program in October, so October 6th and then October 20th, okay? So let us see. For our table topics, the person that won is Joanne. Joanne, when you were here last, I know you came in, but then you left really quick. Did you get in?
I think I did, yes, I think we got all got a good picture too.
Okay, thank you so much.
Picture here.
Thank you so
Yay.
much.
All right, congratulations. And then for our best speaker, the award goes to Kelly Hitter. And last but not least, we have Taffy as our best evaluator. Congratulations.
Oh, I have to put.
Jeez. I remember when I first joined and I was rubbing elbows with this guy. Hey, come here, Taffy. I gotta rub elbows with you now. You're famous. Okay, guys, let's do this. I'm gonna just do a quick volunteer for voluntold for the next topics. Actually, Jenny, can I ask?